Okay, so we're getting ready for Mr. Dave. Mr. Dave is the head of legal for Flutterwave. He's a fintech expert. We're talking about fintech opportunities in the energy space from LNG, whether LNG for exports or LNG for domestic use. That's something that Mr. Dave is going to be shedding some light on. And Mr. Dave, are you good to go? You're muted.
Yes, I am. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you very much, Fola and Oniye and everybody at Megathos for the opportunity to join in and speak to people about the opportunities that are available for fintechs and tech companies in the LNG oil and gas space. My name is David Oluranti. I head legal at Flutterwave. I have 12 years post-call experience as a lawyer. I've been excited about tech space. Can everybody hear me? Part of my motivation in joining a tech company was to see the future of technology in different industries, from both the legal aspect to things like oil and gas. And it's been exciting so far. So I'm just going to go straight into it. Fola has covered a very huge amount of some of the possibilities that exist in tech space for people looking to join in on the LNG Train 7. A lot of those opportunities are things that tech people will be looking to plug into and gain experience from. And I like to add that a lot of these opportunities are things that, like Fola also mentioned, are already being practiced around the world. So you're having Qatar Oil, who are very, very, very big on the use of technology within their space. I'm going to be concentrating more on the fintech opportunities that are available, but just to add to some of the things that Fola mentioned, you have cloud computing, which is a very huge of anything that the oil and gas space is going to be needing to go digital. You have the use of robotics and robots, and that's very, very, very big for things like deep diving and issues around health and safety training and things like that. A very big aspect of going digital will be cybersecurity, like Fola has mentioned as well. And this has so many aspects, from anticipating threats, taking care of threats, ensuring that those threats can be well monitored, and making sure that your documentation and things like that are not available for hackers to be able to get. One thing that Fola had mentioned was whether or not, from moving from manual and handwritten documentation to digital documentation, you will then have more issues of cyber threat and security. While this is partly true, in truth, having your documents stored in one general store is also opening you for cyber threats anyway. So the truth is that there are ways around these things. Also, part of the benefits and part of things that the LNG companies will be benefiting from going digital will be things like creating a digital culture. And like I mentioned again, the digitalization of documents, helping employees grow, trainings and things like that. There's also data, which is very big. In any industry, any tech innovation is usually based on data, usage data, storage data, things like that, predictive analysis, data integration and exploration. He's mentioned AI, he's mentioned machine learning, and then coming down to the fintech space, you have things like payment processing, which is very important. When LNG becomes that staple, which we hope it then becomes, and then it's transported downstream for different purposes, like it can be used, you expect that customers should be able to plug in and have access to this seamlessly. And one of the very great ways in which Flutterwave helps is with payment processing, receiving, collection, settlement of payments. We also have accounting fintechs that might be very useful for LNG companies looking to ensure their taxes, their accounting are done correctly. There are no loopholes for people to shortchange or corruption and things like that. There's also areas around social networking, which platforms like Flutterwave already help with. We have, for instance, a online store which helps merchants meet customers, and for things as simple as LNG, you will be surprised at how many customers are waiting for the use of LNG for electricity purposes and for other domestic use, and just having that ability to be able to plug onto a store and know what is available and what is not available is great for the LNG companies. Other aspects of technology in which LNG companies going digital will be looking to also cover, and which tech companies can plug in gaps, include augmented reality, digital manufacturing, where we have things like 4D and 3D manufacturing, and like Fola has rightly mentioned, the Internet of Things. For me, I think that the use of technology can be varied and very wide. It can also be very helpful in understanding the business that it is helping with, in terms of things like profitability, in terms of things like benchmarking efforts, in terms of watching outputs, understanding your customer relationships, analyzing the market space and the customer's behavior, things like tracking payroll, contractor payments, vendor payments, receiving and collection, expenses, taxes, deductions. And so the opportunities are very wide for fintechs. You'll be surprised that once this is open, also I see opportunities for fintechs that work in the insurance space, helping LNG companies provide on-the-go insurance to ensure that trucks are insured on the go, and the entire value chain for a LNG company is properly covered under the law. Things like customer insights and engagement are also areas that fintechs can plug in for LNG companies. For instance, I mentioned trying to understand consumer trends and consumer patterns, understanding what a customer wants. A good example will be some of the polls that we've already carried out during the course of this conversation, which help you understand the varying nature of the kinds of people who are listening in, and things like that. Comprehensive risk protection, provision of a wide range of financial products, mobile payments, investment management. Sorry, I think I went muted there. Yeah, these are opportunities for LNG companies with regards to tech and fintech. Thank you very much. And I hope we have a useful conversation going forward.